What's up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and I just had a quick something to kind of get off my chest. So I was over at Toy News International, and I saw the post about the Batmobile and the battle modes and all that shit. And while it's impressive because all that shit is housed and hidden in the Batmobile, it's slightly out of character because Batman doesn't really use guns. I mean, yeah, the Frank Miller version did. Yeah, the 89 did, Batman did. But, you know, those are kind of oddities when you think about Batman in general. In the animated series, the Batmobile didn't have guns. You know what I mean? I mean, it had projectiles, you know, like smoke grenades, tear gas, things like that. That's cool, you know? Explosives, okay, fine. But guns... Batman clearly has an aversion to guns. It's shown in almost every version of the character. So I pointed out, to me, I felt like they're going overboard. First, you give Batman a suit of like an Iron Man Mark V, you know, kind of lightweight armor for him to wear, you know, exoskeletal suit to wear on top of his gear. And I'm like, that's a little much for Batman, you know? Now you give him, and then you give him this huge Batmobile that's like, you know, trucking over everything. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. It still seems like a bit much. Next, they give him guns. Oh, I'm talking about he's got like anti-tank weapons and missile launchers. And he's got some riot, you know, weapons like, what was it, like a tear gas gun or something like that, something else that I forgot what the exact description was, but there's like a couple non-lethals, but he's got a Gatling gun, fucking missile launchers. I mean, there's some huge guns on this Batmobile, and I get a message after I say that, you know, they're kind of going overboard with this. A guy sits there and says that, oh, they had to do something different so they can make the gameplay better. I'm thinking to myself, like, this doesn't have anything to do with my comment. I'm not talking about the gameplay. Since there are guns on the Batmobile, you will play with the Batmobile and you will use the guns. Or not, if you choose not to. And it'll probably be fun because Rocksteady knows how to make, you know, really good games. You know, especially Batman games. That's the one thing they've done better than anything else. So yeah, my comment didn't have anything to do with the gameplay. It just has to do with the fundamental problem that a couple people have, you know, like Nolan went overboard because everything Batman had lethal guns. I mean, so much so that Catwoman killed Bane with the guns on the Batpod. Well, this is a guy who's supposed to be against guns. I mean, he even went so far as to take the guns away from the pistol away from Catwoman so that they could beat up the bad guys and escape. But then why do you have guns all over your vehicles? You know what I mean? If you shoot the vehicle while someone's in it, you'll kill them. So it's not Batman doesn't like murder. We understand Batman doesn't kill, but he also doesn't use guns. I mean, if you look in most of the comic book versions of the character, there are no guns. Even the launcher for his grappling guns or his grapple, it doesn't look like a traditional gun. You know what I mean? The shape will be different. I mean, of course, there are always artists that draw it like a little pistol that shoots off a spear with the head that opens up into a grapple. But a lot of artists, if not most artists, draw a non-traditional launcher of some sort for his grapple. The same goes with the weapons on the various Bat vehicles. Usually the more creative artists will come up with other things, and creative writers will come up with other things than just guns. You know, I chalked it up to Call of Duty on wheels. And I know a lot of people are going to try to have, you know, some kind of justification, but this is the problem with a lot of the interpretations of Batman. It's like they try to do everything with one character, just like Marvel's over there trying to do with Iron Man. And it's not necessarily, it's not good, it's not true to the roots of the character, you know? And Batman, by now, everyone should know who Batman is, how he operates, and what he operates with. So tweaking things to the point of marrying, Iron Man to Batman as far as, the design of the particular suit that's in the game, this new game. I'm not really feeling it. I mean, I know other people will, because there always are people who do, but I'm not feeling it because fundamentally Batman built his body up to do all the shit that we watch him do. He shouldn't need a suit to help take the brunt of that strain of all that activity, jumping in and out of the Batmobile. He shouldn't wear a suit to help lessen that. He should deal with it. You know what I mean? This is where I feel like they're thinking too hard about things that don't necessarily apply to the particular character involved. Batman didn't cover himself in tech. That's always been, an Iron Man thing, or several other characters in the DC universe. Lex will cover himself up in tech. Even Blue Beetle will cover himself up in tech, but you won't have Batman outwardly covered in tech. That's typically not the way he's done. Granted, there are a couple stories where he built suits of armor, kind of like Batman versus Predator, but it was very specific. The suit was specific to the situation. I don't feel it. It's my personal opinion. Form follows function, and I get it. They came up with a function to make this form fit. But I think the character as is, everything was perfect up to Arkham City. All you need to do was kind of redesign based on those functions, that kind of functionality. And, you could have hid all the tech inside the suit and no one would have known. And then, upon further, deeper inspection, we'd be able to say, oh, underneath the armor, there are some servos, especially around his spine, for all the jumping and blah, 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 blah. That'd be cool. But I think just outwardly giving him the whole little Iron Man suit with the cape connected and the Batmobile with all the damn guns all over the place, guys, it's overkill in my opinion, it's complete overkill. And I just love how when you state an opinion that's actually backed up by some common sense or some logic, some proof, you always have people. This is the lovely thing about the internet. You state something with proof and facts and logic behind it, and you still have people that want to argue with you because they are always more of a authority, or they know more about everything than you do. It's kind of annoying, it's just one of those things that makes you kind of be like, fuck the internet, you know what I mean? Or fuck fanboys on the internet. Because sometimes I'm just like, man, you guys, you take the shit to a whole different level when people can't state their opinion without you trying to tell them it's wrong because you don't understand or you don't want to understand. In the end, the game will make money. Batman will once again have guns all over the place. And this will go down in history. And, this will be a version of Batman that other studios and whatnot will imitate. And then, before you know it, there will be a version of Batman that shoots everybody. It's only like 1 or 2 more movies away. If they can still make Batman movies after the train wreck that is going to be Man of Steel 2. I don't know. Maybe I am a little too old school and my perspective is a little bit too concrete because I grew up with this character and saw this evolution to where we are now. But I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. Honestly, I only care a little bit. I'm starting to care less and less because of this kind of, approach that I see all over the place. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Peace outside.